Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Vendetta. It is I, Tapey Styles, calling the action right down the middle, flying solo as always. And tonight, we have 3 championship bouts to bring to you tonight, including our main event for the World Heavyweight Championship, as Pierre Cinema defends against that cold-hearted, ruthless psychopath, Robbie Deuce. Also to come later on tonight, one of the most highly anticipated, one of the most stacked tag team bouts of all time, as Ricky Rhombus, Bam Dardino, the Bam Bus, take on the unholy alliance of Jedi and Pando. Also still to come as part of faction warfare, the leader of the Parliament, Oliver English, goes one-on-one against a crucial member of that growing resistance, one that I have understood has begun to call themselves Bunker Hill, the Heartthrob, Popo. And also still to come later on tonight, a hardcore championship defense, as Kabuki goes one-on-one against a very determined, a very heavy set Corey Sinclair, as he aims to become hardcore champion for a record-setting 3rd time. But still to come, our 3rd and quite possibly most historic of the 3 championship bouts here to come. Our first ever ladder match for the Twitch Championship, as Josue defends the gold from Popcorn Poppy. But to kick off tonight's event, tag team action, a championship contender, one of these 2 teams will be taking on High Velocity this Monday night on Warzone, as Big Bernard, Tommy Tanks, the Influence, challenge the War Machine, Slarty, the Mastermind, Sigma Shuko, locally known as the First Nation. Let's get right down to ringside. Many tag teams have been emerging over the course of the past several weeks, trying to fill the void, trying to find their place, their fitting on the totem pole. The constant efforts of Chaos Control, the henchmen of Parliament, have been constantly denied. And that is all thanks in part to the Influence here. But meeting them on the other side of the ring, on the other corner of the ring, is one of the most dangerous tag teams in the division, the First Nation. They made their official uniting back in October, and while they have claimed championship gold since that time, they have yet to become tag team champions. And now is their closest opportunity that they've received in quite some time here. The 2 big men of each respective team here kicking off tonight's event here. Slarty representing the First Nation, Big Bernard representing the Influence. Big Bernard, Headband, Tommy Tanks, they both know what it's like to be tag team champions here in KPW. They've held the gold once before, almost a full year ago.
1, 2,
Big Bernard with a quick throat thrust to Slarty. Slarty with a quick leg sweep. Retaliation, reciprocation for the 300-pound woolly mammoth. Vertical suplex to the War Machine. Monthly special event rules are in application here tonight. Typically, championship bouts are given the 60-minute time limit, but on special events, every bout is given that same opportunity. We're here to stick with the action for as long as it takes. Tag made to headband Tommy Tanks, and Tommy Tanks made one hell of a victory for himself this past Monday night in singles action against Corey Sinclair. A man that we'll be seeing much later on in the program, as he himself will challenge for championship gold. He is scheduled to go one-on-one of reigning defending hardcore champion Hard Boiled Kabuki. Quick standoff in the center of the ring. Shuko and headband with a quick exchange of blows there. Knife edge chop, knocking headband off of his feet here. Arm elbow tie up. Shuko throws headband out of the ring. 2, 3. And now Slarty giving Shuko the assist on the outside, turning his attention to headband. Big Bernard trying to act as an equalizer inside the ring. 9, 10, 11. 12. Shuko, the legal man representing his team here. Slarty 14, 15. Trying to afford his tag team partner as much time as possible. 17. Headband Tommy Tanks needs to get back inside the ring here. 19. The First Nation looking to steal the tag team contender here. Moving with purpose. Running a Trojan horse strategy here tonight. As the First Nation steal the contendership for Monday night. An absolutely shocking result here to kick off Vendetta here tonight. The influence, of course, being one of the odds-on favorites heading into tonight's contender. Wiped out of the competition, completely blindsided with the effortless strategy of the First Nation. Congratulations to Shuko, congratulations to Slarty, as they will now be advancing to a tag team championship bout this Monday night against High Velocity. But coming up next, speaking of championship gold, Twitch title on the line, as Josue takes on Popcorn Poppy as part of a brooding faction war. What initially started off as student versus mentor has very quickly escalated into something much more personal, something much more serious, something that surpasses the both of them, as now they are here to raise the stakes, take it to a whole nother level in our first ever ladder match. Popcorn Poppy marching with purpose, representing Bunker Hill, here tonight. Quite possibly the most pivotal man of the group, the man that truly brought the group together. Alongside Popo, alongside Solo, making the invitation to K-Dog last Monday night. After Parliament tried to assault the Pitbull with that ladder, Popcorn Poppy offered to raise the stakes. And Josue wasted no time accepting the challenge, causing a little bit of dissension between the members of Parliament. But Oliver English, marching with a purpose, leading his most potent, his most dangerous follower down to the ring for our first ever ladder match. Bell has rung. Josue, Popcorn Poppy looking to settle the score once and for all here tonight. A quick exchange of blows. We get an absolute slugfest here in the center of the ring. Hockey fight. Popcorn Poppy taking the advantage to kick off this ladder match here. Irish whip into the ropes. Hip toss from Popcorn Poppy. Now Popcorn Poppy turning his attention to that ladder. Big slam onto the ladder. Also looking to go for a high roundhouse kick, but Popcorn Poppy catches the ankle and proceeds to transition into an ankle lock here. Monkey flip, sending Popcorn Poppy halfway across the ring here. Back heel kick, taking him right back down. Wrist lock. Trying to lock up the joints of the Twitch champion, make it harder for him to climb the ladder, ascend to the top, reach out and grab the very championship that he stole from Popcorn Poppy all the way back at Mayhem 2 months ago. Quick shot to the back of the head of Popcorn Poppy with that ladder. A second shot with the ladder. Josue repeatedly ramming the back of Popcorn Poppy's head into the mat there. High kick sending Popcorn Poppy over the top rope and down to the floor, and Josue standing down the ladder, looking to meet his former teacher, his former mentor on the outside here. Another ankle lock counter. Popcorn Poppy quite possibly has the best intimate knowledge of the Twitch champion regarding anybody else in that locker room here tonight. Oliver English still to come here tonight. Will be competing himself in singles action against the Heartthrob. Josue with a back heel kick, taking Popcorn Poppy off the apron. Josue looking for a moonsault off the ladder to Popcorn Poppy. Knocks Popcorn Poppy off balance. Josue with the ladder clearing the ring once again here. Buying himself some ample time to reach up and take the Twitch championship. Popcorn Poppy shaking that ladder. And the champion takes one hell of a tumble. Josue came into KPW, came into a increasingly hostile locker room environment. The tension, the turmoil, the lack of safety brewing in the back over the course of the past several months. Makes it a very daunting task for anybody to step foot here into KPW. And Popcorn Poppy decided to be the exception to prove the rule there. Trying to take him underneath his wing. Whether it was for his own selfish intentions, whether it was just to further along his own career. Maybe he was just alienated by the big wigs running the whole joint. Josue found refuge in the greater vision of Parliament. Running Hurricane Rana from the champion. Drop kick from Popcorn Poppy. Big forearm smash from Josue. Springboard moonsault from the top rope there. Picture perfect landing onto Popcorn Poppy there. Flying forearm smash from Josue, denied. Quick kicks in the corner. Keeping the pressure up on the challenger. Keeping the pressure firmly in control with Parliament here tonight. Shoulder blocks denied from Josue once again here. Another springboard moonsault. Skipping across the corner of the ring there. Josue certainly a spring chicken here tonight. Being more than willing, more than ready and able to use his agility to his distinct advantage here. Popcorn Poppy cleared out of the ring here. Josue making a very rapid climb here. Josue trying to reach out and grab the Twitch Championship. Popcorn Poppy not allowing him to get a good grip on the belt. Northern Light suplex onto the ladder there. Back meets the steel. Arch whip into the corner. Josue. What the hell is Josue thinking here? He's got some real cruel intentions here. Back suplex onto the ladder. And I don't know how the hell Popcorn Poppy keeps getting back up here. The intestinal fortitude of this man, the endurance. He is out here showing the world just exactly how much that Twitch Championship means to this man. Josue looking to maintain his vice grip on the Twitch division. Popcorn Poppy looking to get a second championship reign out of this historic ladder match. Crossbow lock from Josue. Applying even more tension to the back of Popcorn Poppy. The welts beginning to form on the back from all that high impact landing. Especially that back suplex from the top rope there. Moonsault splash onto the challenger. Josue, the hell is he thinking now? Frankensteiner onto the ladder. Josue halfway across the ring here. Phoenix splash onto the ladder once. Just what a hell of a 1-2 punch there. And we were talking about how much this championship meant to Popcorn Poppy. Look at how much it also means to Josue. Look at how much he's willing to put his body at risk just to keep the other man down. And look at Josue adding insult to injury with that crotch chop. Popcorn Poppy, he's fired up. He's back on his feet, moving with a bit of a limp there. And who could blame him? These two men willing to go through hell and back just to call themselves the champion at the end of the night. Look at Oliver English. Look at the Monarch outside the ring barking orders. His personal lapdog, Josue. Blind forearm smash takes down Popcorn Poppy. Josue. Picture perfect frog splash. Josue reaching out to the Kumite faithful here. Throwing somebody's water bottle at Popcorn Poppy. That's gonna cost a pretty penny at the concession stand. Josue introducing a table to this bout. We heard from Popcorn Poppy that he wanted to take the uneasy relationship with his former protege to new heights back on Monday night, back on Warzone. Snap suplex onto the ladder, but it looked like Josue got the worst of that one. Josue looking to go for a TKO. Unsuccessful on the first time. But not quite on the second run. Frog splash over the table. A Popcorn Poppy trying to slow the pace of this bout down, try to take it to his speed. Try to squeeze the life out of the Twitch champion. They get to a more methodical pace here. Josue looking to Irish whip Popcorn Poppy. Popcorn Poppy with the reversal, however. Popcorn Poppy throwing that water bottle back into the crowd there. I don't think he gave it to the right person. I think he's just more or less in the heat of the moment. And look at the quick reflexes of the champion. Popcorn Poppy looking to go for a direct strike to the head of Josue with that table. Josue looked for that opening and went for a quick roundhouse kick to the sternum. Snap jab from Popcorn Poppy. Josue wrestling the table out of his former teacher's grip here. Now there's Josue setting up the ladder once again here. We've seen him make multiple climbs here, trying to put this bout away as quickly as possible. Josue getting sent into the ropes there. That could be enough force to just internally decapitate a man. And yet Josue just right back up on his feet. This is what the Twitch Championship means to both of these men. This is what this means to be able to get one step ahead of the other man. Popcorn Poppy thinking better of the table. Another hockey fight, center of the ring. Popcorn Poppy seemingly winning the exchange here. Josue had a seemingly quick retreat there, but faking him out with that Hurricane Rana here. Looking to go for a moonsault from the top of the ladder again, and he misses. Popcorn Poppy looking to take full advantage here, and he takes the Twitch Championship home. All it took was one critical mistake for Josue. That lack of experience compared to Popcorn Poppy. The ultimate difference maker. And Oliver English, he is absolutely livid outside the ring. And Oliver English rushing the new Twitch champion. Parliament looking to make an example out of Popcorn Poppy here. It should have been a night of celebration for Popcorn Poppy. And Parliament never working in a fair fight, never looking to take on a fair fight, operating 1v2, looking to neutralize Popcorn Poppy ahead of later on tonight when Oliver English takes on Popo in singles competition. What an absolute mugging here tonight. This should have been a night of celebration, a night of remembrance. A change of the guards, Popcorn Poppy winning the Twitch Championship for the second time ever. Now he doesn't get that opportunity. Oliver English catching Popcorn Poppy by surprise with that Big Ben. And he's looking to snap the arm of Popcorn Poppy, looking to put the new champion out of commission here. Where the hell is Popo? Where the hell is Solo? Where the hell is K-Dog? Oliver English grabbing that Twitch Championship. Popcorn Poppy pulling Josue in front of him, taking the brunt of that impact for him. Oliver English redirecting his anger, more focused, more ruthless, more tyrannical than ever. Laying out the new Twitch champion in the center of the ring here. Popcorn Poppy, he may now be the Twitch champion in the record books, but Parliament, they're walking away with the gold. As if nothing ever happened, as if it was a successful night, as if it was a successful defense for them. Absolutely classless. The lack of chivalry from a group of individuals that claim to have pride and dignity, trying to restore KPW to its original glory, that greater vision of theirs. It's turned them all into goddamn monsters here. But speaking of ruthless, coming up next for the Hardcore Championship, Kabuki makes yet another defense of the gold. against a man that is considered a cornerstone of the hardcore division. A man that is looking to capture the gold for the third time ever. A feat that no other individual in KPW has ever achieved. The king of Stego style, Corey Sinclair, looks to make history here tonight. Corey marching down to the ring with that kendo stick, that Singapore cane. And he's been a real tour de force with the Hardcore Championship ever since the fall of 2024. He's also had experience as a Twitch champion in time immemorial. If anybody's gonna put the champion to the ultimate test here tonight, it will certainly be Corey Sinclair. Kabuki made one hell of a defense last month at Summer Spark in triple threat competition, as he was able to successfully retain the gold against the Sauce, against K-Dog. Kabuki has been overseas training, keeping his reps intact. Thrust kick from Corey Sinclair, taking it down Kabuki. Both these men are some of the best strikers across all of KPW. Two of the toughest men here in the hardcore division. Looking to lock horns here tonight as Kabuki clears the ring here.
2, 3, 4.
This is our second of 3 championship bouts to come here tonight. Just moments ago, if you're just joining us, if you're just tuning in, ladies and gentlemen, earlier on tonight, we saw the First Nation, Slarty, Shuko, advance to this Monday night where they will challenge High Velocity for the tag team championships, defeating the Influence Big Bernard, Headman Tommy Tanks via countout.
3,
One hell of a Trojan horse strategy.
5,
And just moments ago,
6,
our first ever ladder match
7,
for the Twitch Championship just concluded
9,
with a changing of the guards. Popcorn
11,
Poppy
12.
winning the Twitch Championship for the second time ever. Kabuki getting back into the ring at the count of 12 here. Waistlock transition, a forearm strike to the back of Kabuki. Another waistlock transition, headbutts to the back of the head of Kabuki. And Corey Sinclair has been a very viable threat here in his long history with KPW. He's been here from the very beginning. He's been through thick and thin. He's gone through multitudes of challengers. And he's looking to add Kabuki to that long list. The challenger in a white attire, gold trim. The champion in nearly all black here. Rope assisted bulldog from Corey Sinclair here. And if there's anything that's worth commending about both of these men, it's the pure athleticism on display here. Forearm smash taking down Kabuki. Corey looking to signal for the end here, looking to put this away as quick as he can here. Meteor strike! And he's not done. He's looking to put an extra stamp on this. The electric chair drop. He calls that the oil spill. Cover!
1, 2, 3. Pin.
And Corey Sinclair makes history here tonight. Corey Sinclair marched in with a purpose. For Kabuki, this was looking to be any other Saturday night. It was looking to be just another defense, another hard-hitting bout for the now former hardcore champion. Corey, motivated by his past, motivated to become a champion in the present day. Looking to have a strong standing in the history books of the future. Making history here tonight, becoming the first ever 3-time KPW Hardcore Champion. Not letting Kabuki get a leg up over him. Maintaining control the entire way through here. Corey Sinclair making the open challenge at Kabuki. Making no light of the issue, making no light of the situation. Corey Sinclair turned into a whole nother animal the moment that bell rang, and 3.5 minutes later, we can stand here and proudly declare Corey Sinclair our new KPW Hardcore Champion. Congratulations to the king of Stego Style. And coming up next, more faction warfare brewing.
Options. Exhibition.
As the Heartthrob takes on the Monarch, another battle of Bunker Hill versus Parliament here tonight. This has been brewing for quite some time here. Oliver English making his grand return just 2 months ago with a renewed purpose, a new edge, a new motivation. Being caught in the crossfire, a man that was once considered to be a member of Parliament, a man that was highly suspected to be a member of Parliament, eventually becoming one of the strongest members of its growing resistance in Bunker Hill. Monarch marching down to the ring, flanked by his recruiter and Tori. And the Heartthrob almost certainly had lust in his eyes for Tori. Just looking to bring himself one step closer to her. And at Summer Spark, Popo was played like a fiddle. Tonight, the Hostway joined Parliament. More faction warfare budding here These two eccentric personalities looking to butt heads here tonight. Arm elbow tie up center of the ring, snapmare from the Monarch. And for the past 2 months, Oliver English has been undefeated in competition. Popo, Solo, Popcorn Poppy, they have all been thorns in the side of the Monarch. Popcorn Poppy in particular being a major roadblock for Parliament, as we've seen earlier on tonight, winning that ladder match for the Twitch Championship. Popo looking to go for much higher intentions, looking to put himself back in the running for the World Heavyweight Championship, much like Oliver English, the first ever World Heavyweight Champion here in KPW. Crucifix pinfall attempt, but Oliver's foot touching the rope there. Slapthigh Jones having to call off the pinfall attempt there, having to break it up there. Lightning quick elbow strikes from the heartthrob. The battle of the UK versus the US unfolding here tonight. Release German suplex from the Monarch. Knife edge chops between Oliver English and Popo. Popo with a scoop slam. Jawbreaker to break up the momentum of the Monarch. Wrist lock counter from Oliver English. And from the moment he stepped foot here in KPW on the very first night, the one thing that has always made Oliver English shine amongst the stars, the rest of the locker room, along the rest of KPW, the home of fighting spirit, was his technical wizardry. The way that he could just take apart his opponents and just dissect them inside the ring. Oliver English trying to choke the life out of Popo. Slapthigh Jones having to break up the hold, giving him to the count of 5. It was an illegal chokehold. Irish whip into the corner. Popo pumps the brakes, but so did Oliver English. Back body drop courtesy of Popo now. And these two men so equally matched to kick off this bout here, the opening minutes of this bout. Nobody can maintain an advantage. Haymaker, the feint out haymaker from Oliver English. Another tool in his repertoire that has caught many of his opponents off guard. His striking ability. Is something that goes without saying, something that catches many off guard here. Oliver English continuing to play out some very underhanded tactics against Popo here. Raking the eyes, a knee to the groin of the heartthrob. Oliver English looking to go for another knee to the groin. Popo dragging Oliver out of the ring here. Taking the time to gloat the Monarch. And a bit braggadocious inside the ring. Slapthigh Jones having to break up that count out, as Oliver English wasted no time getting back inside the ring. Popo looking to go for a DDT. But Oliver English counters it into a reverse armbar. Power slam. Using the recoil of Popo off the ropes. Oliver English retreating back to that chokehold. Popo trying to move with a bit more urgency here tonight. Trying to move with a bit more of a purpose, with more pep in his step here. Waistlock counter here. Back rake from the Monarch. Oliver English attempting a Boston Crab, but Popo pulls himself out of it. Oliver English not able to get enough grip on the legs of the heartthrob. And we know how much of a factor that comes into play for Popo. His finishing move, that patented super kick, the Texas T. He could drill any opponent with that super kick from out of nowhere, from any perceivable position. It's moves in that repertoire of his that's made him a successful hardcore champion in the past, a successful Twitch champion in the past, and it's brought him dangerously close to becoming world heavyweight champion. A knee drop onto Popo, and now Popo looking to give Oliver English one hell of a receipt there. Low blow to the crown jewels of the Monarch. Snap DDT from Oliver English. A quick jab from the Monarch, from the inaugural World Heavyweight Champion. World Heavyweight Championship bout still to come here tonight as part of Vendetta. Brainbuster. Look at a spiked Popo on the top of his head there. Fold him up like a damn accordion. Irish whip into the corner. That nasty clothesline right into the corner. Side enziguri from Oliver English. Popo being cleared out of the ring here. Seems to be a recurring theme for Parliament here tonight, trying to clear the ring, trying to show some more aggression.
5, 6, 7, 8.
Oliver English, Popo fighting outside the ring in front of the Kumite faithful. Oliver English pulling Popo back into the ring. Count of 11. Jawbreaker for Popo. Waistlock counter from Oliver English. Pendulum backbreaker. Popo getting sent off the ropes. Running leg lariat. Oliver English going up top here. Looking to go for a shoulder tackle.
2.
Big body press onto the apron, and Oliver bounces off the apron and down to the floor there. That's one hell of a way to cave in your chest here. Backdrop driver. And Popo, he might be out cold. He might be knocked senseless by that move.
Pinball.
And Oliver English knocks out the heartthrob here. The last thing that Popo saw before he was knocked unconscious was a woman that scorned him, laid him like a fool. As Oliver English wasted no more momentum, no more energy, no more stamina. Surgically taking apart Popo here tonight. Parliament still in possession of Popcorn Poppy's Twitch Championship. Putting down the heartthrob. Beating the living hell out of Popcorn Poppy. As it seems that Parliament has picked up one hell of an advantage, one hell of a bargaining chip in the weeks to come. Congratulations to the Monarch, Oliver English, for securing the victory here tonight. Still to come this Monday night on Warzone. I'm getting word from the board of directors here. Still to come on Warzone in just 48 hours. We'll be seeing the First Nation take on High Velocity for the Tag Team Championships. And we will actually be seeing two men in our upcoming bout just up next in action on Warzone. Singles competition, we'll be seeing Ricky Rhombus go one-on-one against Greek Machismo, Nick Flawless, in just 48 hours. Also to come, we'll be seeing Josue, the now former Twitch champion, take on the Viceroy Jedi in singles action. Also to come, we will be seeing K-Dog in solo, as K-Dog has now seemingly accepted the offer to join Bunker Hill as they now go in tag team action against Bloom Bilko, representing the Scheme. That is all to come in 48 hours, but coming up next, one of the most highly anticipated bouts of the evening, quite possibly one of the most stacked tag team bouts in KPW history, as the Bam Bus, Ricky Rhombus, Bam Dardino, the Lethal Lottery winner, being protected by his tag team partner, now take on one hell of an unholy alliance, as they now have to deal with not just the Siberian Silver Bear in Pando, but now they have to deal with the Viceroy Jedi in his first bout since he lost the World Championship over 2 months ago. And it's all to come right here and now. The Bam Bus have been unsuccessful in their journey for championship gold as a tag team. Ricky Rhombus has picked up victories before as a hardcore champion. Bam Dardino himself has one hell of a bargaining chip for the rest of 2025, being able to cash in that Lethal Lottery contract at any point he chooses. It's made him one hell of a threat to think about. But they have only found themselves in the crosshairs of two of KPW's most dominant forces. leading the charge against the Bambus here tonight, the Siberian Silver Bear Pando, a man that was an odds-on favorite in the Championship Open over the course of July, to step up to the plate to try and challenge Pierre Cinema for the gold. Looking to inflict a world of pain onto the Bambus for taking him out, sidelining him after that attack in the bar. And the Viceroy standing side by side, a temporary alliance with the Siberian Silver Bear Pando. Trying to tie up loose ends. The last time we saw this man on Warzone before his brief hiatus was a Tornado tag team match against the Bambus. Jedi being the world heavyweight champion at that time amidst a record-setting 218-day reign on top. Was unfortunately the recipient of the pinfall in that bout, courtesy of Ricky Rhombus. Jedi now looks to even the score here tonight before getting back on track, before getting back to the championship that he lost months ago inside that steel cage. We saw Jedi make that crucial return last Monday night on Warzone after our world champion Pierre Cinema took out Slap Thigh Jones with that signature Starstruck DDT. Leaving the main event, Pando, Ricky Rhombus without a referee. Jedi was there in uniform, ready to go, ready to call the bout. And it might as well have just been a kangaroo court. Jedi took the full opportunity to get his hands on the Bambus. Big splash. Bumping Ricky Rhombus through the middle ropes here. Tag made to Jedi. Tag made to Bandardino. Bandardino looking to go for a suplex, but the Viceroy floats over it. Bandardino, however, successful on the second attempt. Irish whip into the corner. Bandardino looking to do some shoulder thrusts into the corner, but Jedi floats over it, looking to go for a quick sunset flip pinfall. Still to come, our main event of the evening. Here, Cinema defends the World Heavyweight Championship against one of the Viceroy's strongest adversaries in the wild card, that cold-hearted, ruthless psychopath, Robbie Deuce. The strongest beneficiary out of all of this. Out of the constant interferences of the Bambus. Out of the consequences of an inactive Viceroy and Jedi. And of course, winning the Championship Open at the expense of a severely beaten, battered, bruised, and broken Pando just 2 weeks ago. Now Pando joins the fray once again, looking to get his hands on Ricky Rhombus. Ricky Rhombus with a neck breaker to Pando. Pando went through hell and back 2 weeks ago in that hellacious bar attack, courtesy of Ricky Rhombus, courtesy of Austin, courtesy of the orders of Bam Dardino, trying to neutralize the biggest threats in his wake to get towards the World Heavyweight Championship, looking for that perfect opportunity to strike here. Pando scooping up Ricky Rhombus with one arm and slamming him down with authority here. Pando and Jedi on the same page here, looking for some tandem offense on Ricky Rhombus. Irish whip. Ricky Rhombus, look at it, setting up Jedi with that fisherman buster, but Jedi's foot reaching the ropes there. Something that was a make or break move, courtesy of the Viceroy. That in-ring awareness, that expert conditioning. Keeping him alive in this bout here. And now Bam Dardino looking to get himself a piece of the action. Big clothesline taking down Bam Dardino. Pando entering the fray here. Tandem offense. Irish whip from Jedi. A Manhattan drop from Pando. A scoop slam from the Siberian Silver Bear here. And he's going absolutely feral in the ring against Bam Dardino. Enziguri from Bam Dardino temporarily taking the big man off of his feet here. The brute force of this man. Up until 5 nights ago, this was scheduled to be a 2-on-1 handicap match. And luckily for Pando, there was just enough adversaries in the back, enough individuals with a bone to pick against the Bam Bus to make one hell of a difference here tonight. Stump pull pile driver from Bam Dardino. Ricky Rhombus focusing on the lower half of Pando with that single leg Boston Crab now. Irish whip. Ricky Rhombus running into Bam Dardino there. Bit of a misconnection there between the Bam Bus. And at one point in time, they were also quite the unlikely pairing. They had quite a bit in common with one another. The way that they were able to gel in the ring, the instant chemistry. It was the very move that gave both of these men some renewed purpose here in KPW. They've been locked in, they've been loaded, they've been more motivated and focused than ever before. Ricky Rhombus seems to have the Viceroy's number here tonight. Waistlock tie up here. Blue Thunder bomb here. Both teams tagging out here. Bam Dardino enters the fray. Pando looking to get himself a piece of the action here. Torture rack to Bam Dardino here. And Ricky Rhombus pulls his tag partner out of danger. Out of some serious consequences And that has been a common critique for the Band Bus, a constant disruption of their plans there. As Bam Dardino being at the center of attention, making sure that Ricky Rhombus is perceived as a lapdog. Ricky Rhombus looking subservient to his tag team partner. The Band Bus marching in with a purpose here tonight, looking to get their biggest victory yet. Looking to prove to their doubters that their whole is worth more than the sum of its parts here. Drop toe hold from Ricky Rhombus. Spinning wheel kick from Pando. And Jedi tags in here. Gut-wrench powerbomb from Pando. And now Bandardino trying to equalize things for his team there. Catching Jedi off guard with that snapback suplex. Side Russian leg sweep, courtesy of Ricky Rhombus. Tag made to Bam Dardino. Another side Russian leg sweep from Ricky Rhombus. Trying to soften up the Viceroy for his tag team partner. Pando's all fired up. He's ready to tag himself in. He's ready to get his hands on the Band Bus once again here. Jedi looking to tie up his loose ends here. Holding the Band Bus responsible for taking him off his game, taking him his focus away from Pierce Cinema in their third and final bout in their long-standing trilogy of bouts here in KPW. Inside the cage. And it's been almost a year to the day since we saw Jedi make his debut here in KPW. It was last year at Cyber Sunday that we saw the Viceroy make his very first appearance, where he brought the wrestling world to a standstill, unleashing that first attack on Pierre Cinema. And they would continue to haunt each other. They would continue to be marching in the other's footsteps for the course of 10 long months. Scoop slam from Pando now. Drop kick from Ricky Rhombus. A scoop slam from Pando. Dropping that quick headbutt on Ricky Rhombus. Swinging neck breaker, trying to take down the big man. And one has to wonder what sort of conditioning is Pando in. Is he truly at 100%? We saw that even at a limited capacity, he was still dangerous enough to almost take the championship open from Robbie Deuce. Just 2 weeks ago on Warzone. All taped up, all battered up and bruised. Bloodied in the bar. Harsh whip from Ricky Rhombus. Nobody home, however. Jedi taking the bullet for his tag team partner here. Some surprising level of selflessness from the Viceroy here tonight. Looking to fight with honor, looking to fight with pride and dignity. Looking to run things all once again. And he's looking to silence the loudest pieces of that opposition in the BAM bus. Viceroy, he may be one of the most polarizing figures here in KPW, but if there's one thing you could absolutely give to him, it's that he is more than willing to get his hands dirty himself. He is more than willing to do whatever it takes to pick up a victory here. He marched into this very company with one mission, to run it all, and he's done it all by himself. He was embroiled in one hell of a conspiracy over the course of the winter regarding the disappearance of the icon, the man they called Ding. A conspiracy that still haunts his name and his reputation to this very night. All thanks to the interference, scapegoating of Robbie Deuce, the true culprit. A man that has now seemingly finished the job on the Dinger. Float over, taking down Ricky Rhombus with one hell of a precision kick there. Arm drag from the Viceroy. Overhead strike from Ricky Rhombus. Single leg Boston Crab here. And Jedi just barely reached the ropes. German suplex, bridge attempt, but the in-ring positioning of the Viceroy coming into play once again here. Ricky Rhombus looking to go for another Fisherman Buster. Cover! And Pando breaks up the pin here. Both of these men know how insufferable the BAM bus is going to be this Monday night, should they pick up the victory here against the Viceroy, against the Siberian Silver Bear. These two are going to be boasting about it. They're going to be hot dogging and grandstanding about it until the cows come home. Pile driver onto Pando. Ricky Rhombus keeping control, keeping the momentum in the favor of the BAM bus, and Pando is looking to shift that as quickly as he possibly can here. A massive pump handle slam from Pando. Looking to take the breath right out of Ricky Rhombus. He sent Ricky Rhombus absolutely soaring with that move. Double suplex from the BAM bus. Takes two of these individuals just to lift up the big man. Pando weighing in here tonight at 295 pounds. He's lean, he is mean. This is probably the best conditioning that we've ever seen of this man. Now, this is what makes him such a freak of nature. He is able to pull off maneuvers that you wouldn't expect from a man of his size and stature. Spinning wheel kick, taking Bam Dardino. The Viceroy And Bandardino fighting on the apron. Bandardino trying to create some space for himself, getting a bit frantic, getting a bit desperate. And all he has to do is try and reach out for the tag for his partner, Ricky Rhombus. Pando keeping Bandardino in the corner, however, keeping him as far away from his partner as possible here. Pando with a hellacious clothesline, taking out Bandardino, turning him inside out. Jedi looking to get himself a piece of the action, but Bandardino was scouted. He was prepared. He was ready to go. And Jedi and Bandardino, they had some brief history with one another. Just over a year ago. Scoop pinfall here. Ricky Rhombus almost stealing it here tonight. German suplex. The Bambus getting a bit desperate here. And Ricky Rhombus pulls one over on the Viceroy once again here. Bandardino acting as a human shield, taking the bullet for his tag team partner now. Pando leaping into action there, looking to break up the pin here, looking to pull Ricky Rhombus off the mat there. And Bandardino was right there at the perfect place at the perfect time to cut off the breakup there. These two are about to be absolutely insufferable. We're going to be hearing about this for the rest of time from these two. As they went into war here tonight, they went to battle with the Viceroy, with the Siberian Silver Bear. A seemingly daunting task here. And they have snuck out of Vendetta here tonight with the victory. And now both of these men are just one step closer to World Championship glory. Bandardino with one hell of a bargaining chip, that lethal lottery contract. He can skip the line whenever the hell he wants. But now Ricky Rhombus can redirect to his original goals. Keeping the Bambus on top here. Pierre Cinema is going to be on high alert from this point forward. And speaking of the World Heavyweight Champion, coming up next here on Vendetta, the main event of the evening, World Heavyweight Championship up for grabs, as Robbie Deuce goes one-on-one with Pierre Cinema as we get a tail of the tape here. Robbie Deuce with the reach advantage, the height advantage, the weight advantage. And we've seen the behavior over the course of the past month. That new underhanded tactic that he's been employing over the past several weeks, introducing flash paper into his bouts here, lighting the Danger's face on fire at Summer Spark, lighting Pando's face on fire just 2 weeks ago on Warzone to earn this opportunity. We know that Robbie Deuce is ready to pull all the stops, ready to take every shortcut to the top here. Challenging the tenacity, challenging the grit of the World Heavyweight Champion, Pierre Cinema. And before we get down the ringside, I understand that our resident interviewer, Roger, standing backstage with our World Heavyweight Champion as he makes his final preparations before our main event here tonight.
Champ, I'd like to thank you for giving me the last of your time before your defense just mere minutes away. Pierre, we've seen Robbie Deuce lay his hands on bystanders and fans. We've seen him use fireballs to score upset victories. He's established from the moment he stepped foot here that he is the most dangerous man in KPW. How are you going to try and match his intensity in the ring?
Roger, I think I proved to the world time and time again that I have enough grit to hold this World Heavyweight Championship belt. What I did to Slap Thigh Jones on Monday night was just a taste of what's soon to come. Robbie Deuce has a lot of tenacity. He's a very resourceful man. It's certainly what makes him such a threat here tonight. But the very thing he lacks, Roger, is the heart. I know he's not gonna play by the rules. I know he's gonna be the dirtiest son of a bitch this industry has ever seen. But what he's fighting for right now is exactly the thing I had to prove I wasn't fighting for just a year ago. He's fighting for deluded vanity. He doesn't give a damn about anything else beyond the idea of him being the world champion. I'm gonna make damn sure he doesn't pull that off tonight. But what would he do if he actually pulled it off? Would he come here week in and week out to prove that he could be the most elite champion in our sport? From the start of this month, I knew that facing him at Vendetta was a possibility. There's a good probability that he could walk away with my championship. But now, Roger, I'm going to kick his ass with absolute certainty and make sure these fans still have a champion they can look up to.
Strong words from our World Heavyweight Champion as he aims to equal the intensity of his challenger, Robbie Deuce. As Robbie Deuce looks to get his second World Championship opportunity over the course of 4 months. He was unsuccessful in claiming the gold back at Spring Stampede against his former best friend in Jedi. And now he has a chance to take that satisfaction away from the Viceroy as he marches in to try and take the World Heavyweight Championship away from his strongest rival in Pierre Cinema. The stakes have never been higher. Here, Cinema, laser focused, looking to give Robbie Deuce the fight of his life. And here we go. Main event is underway here tonight. The challenger, Robbie Deuce, in the white and blue trim. Here, Cinema in the black and gold. Robbie Deuce side-stepping the champion here, spinning back suplex into the corner here. This is gonna get mean. This is gonna get ugly. The intensity of these two. They're gonna be ready to pull all the stops here just to walk away from Vendetta here tonight as our World Heavyweight Champion. Sleeper hold from Robbie Deuce, trying to put the champion to sleep, trying to put this away as quickly as he can here.
2.
Here's him back up on the apron after the count of two here. Robbie Deuce, over the course of the past several weeks, really established himself as public enemy #1 here in KPW, persona non grata, after his repeated attacks against the likes of Ding, Hando, even pulling fans in over the guardrail to get his hands on them.
9, 10,
Action spilling to the outside here.
12, 13,
Here, ramming the head of Robbie Deuce
15,
into the guardrail, into the ring post now.
16,
And he's barking at Robbie Deuce. If you want to take this World Heavyweight Championship away, you got to do that in the ring here, pal. Quick snap from Pearson, Irish whip, leapfrog from the champion, drop toe hold, taking down the challenger. And at the start of the month, Robbie Deuce was just one of 8 potential challengers for the World Heavyweight Championship. A list of challengers that also included Pando, Tape, Ricky Rhombus, Popo, the First Nation, and Crisp Billy. Flapjack into the turnbuckle. A drop kick taking down Pierre Cinema. We're gonna go for a quick forearm strike, but Robbie Deuce had it scouted. A reverse armbar. And Pierre frantically reaches for the ropes. Arnova tie up. Robbie Deuce taking Pierre Cinema out of the ring once again here.
4, 5,
Drop kick
6,
scouted by Robbie Deuce here. The challenger, the wild card, firmly in control of this bout.
10, 11, 12,
And this has been a bad night for incumbent champions here tonight at Vendetta.
16,
Earlier on tonight in a ladder match, we saw
17,
Josue lose the Twitch Championship to Popcorn Poppy. We saw Kabuki lose the Hardcore Championship to Corey Sinclair now. And now Pierre Cinema's World Heavyweight Championship at risk here. And this fight is increasingly getting out of control here. As now both of these men fight on the Vendetta stage here. Referee Slapthigh Jones losing complete control of this bout, letting the fight play out. He knows that Robbie Deuce could snap at a moment's notice. He knows that he could lay his hands on him at any moment possible. Half Nelson suplex on the stage there. As Pierre's neck comes into full contact with the steel grating. An absolutely brutal affair to conclude tonight's event here in the Kumite Forum. Packed, stacked, and sold out here tonight. Another single leg Boston Crab from Robbie Deuce. Here's Cinema pulling Robbie Deuce behind the curtain as they are now backstage in the Kumite Forum. Here's Cinema with the steel chair here. Robbie Deuce trying to redirect this bout back towards the ring. He can't win the World Championship anywhere else here. Back suplex onto the stage here. These two are willing to push themselves to their absolute physical, emotional, and mental limits. They are more than willing to sacrifice years off of their career, if not their own lives, just to call themselves the champion. Now is Robbie Deuce sending Pierre Cinema to the back. Pierre Cinema, Robbie Deuce slugging it out in the hallways backstage behind the stage of Vendetta here tonight. Robbie Deuce mounting over the back of Pierre Cinema, striking him in the back of the head repeatedly here. Looking to absolutely maul and victimize the World Heavyweight Champion. Robbie Deuce with the steel chair here. Trying to take Pierre Cinema off his feet here. This is absolutely senseless. This is a merciless deconstruction of the star attraction, France's greatest expert, Pierre Cinema, and he's finally able to wrestle in control of the chair out of the grasp of Robbie Deuce here. And one has to wonder, how much time did this buy the World Heavyweight Champion? Pierre Cinema has been embroiled in quite possibly the most chaotic World Heavyweight Championship reign that we've ever seen here. A liar's dice onto the concrete floor there. And Robbie Deuce just pulled out the flash paper on the world champion. Nobody is safe. Nobody's off limits for Robbie Deuce here. Here's Cinema with heavily obscured vision. That might have taken his damn eyebrows here. Pierre Cinema, a renowned actor here. Pierre Cinema with the steel chair, splitting Robbie Deuce wide open. And we just knew that this was gonna get personal. We just knew this was gonna get ugly between these two. We've seen Flame come into contact in this bout. We have seen Crimson Masks. This is far beyond the control of one referee. Nobody wants to get in between these two. They're not going to stop until the other man cannot get back up to their own 2 feet here. Pierre Cinema, he's got to be dealing with some real nasty burns here. He's got to be pushing through whatever adrenaline he's got left here.
2, 3,
Robbie Deuce
4,
faking out Pierre Cinema
5,
as Pierre was looking to use that momentum to try
7,
and take down Robbie Deuce with that handspring moonsault over the top there.
10,
Perhaps that flash paper starting to affect the depth perception of the champion.
14, 15, 16,
Some objects may be a lot closer than they appear.
17, 18.
And Pierre Cinema, he's not done. He doesn't want to take this to the ring just yet. And now they're taking this backstage once again here. This bout, this World Heavyweight Championship match is completely out of control. I've never seen anything like this. Another strike with the steel chair. Pierre Cinema looking at it to pick up that fire extinguisher now. Drop kick taking down Pierre Cinema. This is on a whole another level here. German suplex attempted on the floor. Pierre Cinema was able to stick the landing, however. Brainbuster on the steel chair. I don't even think Pierre saw that, but he sure as hell made that effective. And now he is beating the absolute hell out of Robbie Deuce. Another brainbuster on the chair. The Kumite form coming absolutely unglued here tonight. The champion continuing to become more and more unhinged here. And it was Robbie Deuce that questioned the grit, the tenacity, resourcefulness of the World Heavyweight Champion. And it's been a battle of yin and yang for the World Heavyweight Champion from the moment he stepped foot here in KPW. Pierre Cinema with that 2x4. It looked like it was wrapped in barbed wire. And it seemed like after all that time, after all that personal redemption and rehabilitation, Northern Light suplex through a table. After all that time to try and redeem himself, try and win the World Heavyweight Championship a proper way. It appears after all that time, Pierre Cinema might still hang on to a little piece of that dark side. That aggression that he marched into KPW with. Now Robbie Deuce with that 2x4 wrapped in barbed wire. They're gonna try and lacerate the face of the champion here. As that barbed wire is pulling into the skin of Pierre Cinema. Pierre Cinema, he is openly defying the wild card right to his face here, and Robbie Deuce is finally able to split the champion wide open here. Pierre Cinema wishing that he probably got lit on fire second, just so it can just cauterize whatever wound that it possibly can. These two men are bleeding buckets here tonight. These two are gonna absolutely kill each other. Wrestling each other over the fire extinguisher. Robbie Deuce ramming Pierre's face into that chain link grating in the boiler room here. As the action finally escapes the boiler room, we are back into the hallways of the Kumite Forum. I've never seen anything like this in my life, ladies and gentlemen. I've never seen anything pushed to this extremity. And a precision strike takes down Robbie Deuce. This is an all-out brawl here. Liar's Dice taking a page out of the book of Robbie Deuce onto the steel grating there. And Robbie Deuce was really struggling to get back to his feet. Up until the last several minutes, he was firmly in control of this heavyweight championship bout here. And now the action has finally returned inside the ring here. Slapthigh Jones seemingly trying to get his control back over the bout here. Part of his officiating and his commitment to the role, his dedication to the job, should have called for a double disqualification. But I think he just wanted to see these two beat the hell out of one another. He wanted to see just how far these two were willing to take it against one another and each other. We saw Pierre drill Slapthigh Jones with that starstruck DDT just to send a message to this man just 5 nights ago on Warzone. Leaping pile driver from Pierre Cinema. And going into this bout, we knew that the referee's security was at risk, considering Robbie Deuce, that absolute loose cannon. Indian Deathlock, vintage Pierre Cinema coming out in spades here tonight. I fetch chop. Running calf kick from the world champion Pierre Cinema, getting to the second rope here. Fist drop. Taking down Robbie Deuce here. Spinning back elbow to keep the pressure up here. A chop to the legs of Robbie Deuce. And now Robbie Deuce ramming Pierre's face into the ring post, taking him off the apron.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7,
Pierre Cinema whipping Robbie Deuce into the announcer's desk.
9,
Shades of Summer Spark, Pierre. We're not doing this again here.
11,
At least let me get my paperwork.
13, 14,
Now Pierre Cinema just tosses Robbie Deuce off of the desk here.
16,
I
17,
appreciate you for not destroying the desk in front of me, not taking the paperwork
1,
and the monitors
2,
and destroying them all across
4,
the outside area here.
5, 6,
Moonsault to the floor.
8, 9,
Pierre Cinema looking to zero in on some of that aerial offense. But one thing that he holds an advantage over against Robbie Deuce.
14, 15,
Count of 15, Robbie Deuce. Looking to get back into the ring here. And Pierre Cinema's back up here. He's fighting through the pain. He's fighting through whatever adrenaline he's got left here. He's got to make his time count here. Big splash onto the challenger. Both these men are absolutely exhausted. They are spent. They have gone through the circles of hell just to call themselves the world heavyweight champion here. Leaping pile driver from the champion. Cover.
1, 2, count.
I believe that was the first pinfall of this bout. 20 minutes in. Both of these men knew exactly what it was going to take just to keep the other man down here. And now Pierre looking to choke the life out of Robbie Deuce. And Robbie Deuce just breaking out of the sleeper hold there, but I think it took everything out of him. Here's Cinema signaling for the end here. Star struck DDT.
1, 2, 3.
And Pierre Cinema has retained the gold here tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, mark your calendars, because on July 26th, 2025, we witnessed an absolute bloodbath, one quite like we've never seen here before. We saw tables, we saw burning bodies, we saw bloodbaths. We've seen carnage inside and out of the Kumite Forum here tonight between these two. A question of grit, a question of tenacity. Was Pierre gonna do whatever it takes to retain the gold? And I think we got one hell of an answer to that equation here. We knew that Robbie Deuce was going to be the dirtiest player of the game. He was going to be a mean, cold, and unforgiving son of a bitch. And Pierre Cinema, from the moment that Robbie Deuce won that championship open, he knew that he had to take it to that next level. He had to up the intensity. And we knew that these two were gonna keep slugging it out until one man just couldn't get back up. Who will be next for Pierre Cinema? Who's gonna step up to the star attraction this Monday night on Warzone? We'll find out in just 48 hours. That has been Vendetta, ladies and gentlemen. I've been Tapey Styles, the only man that can call the action right down the middle, flying solo as always. Somebody needs to get this world champion a damn towel.